Dun 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 dun. Everybody, Scratch Off Ticket Man here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Got a couple scratch off tickets here today. Hopefully, one of them is a ticket to more or less retirement at this point. I think it was no longer just thinking how do we get out of debt. We're thinking maybe just retirement. That would be good. We got bingo, 50 grand. That sounds like a plan. We also got Jaws. Who will be next? Taking the place of Cash for Life. I saw the Jaws cards and I was like, let's do that this week. And again, I checked yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but I told everyone yesterday. Um, I was like, when is Shark Week? Shark Week was last week, so it's like Shark Week extended. Pretty awesome. Hope everyone's had a good day. A Tuesday here. I'm trying to use this big Canadian dollar here. It's just I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it right now. Too big. Let's gotta go home. Hope everyone's had a good day. It's Tuesday here. Yesterday, it's funny. It's funny and not funny at the same time. If I talk about certain things on here, it's like no one sees these. Then again, no one probably sees these really, anyways. Um, but just the idea with some politics stuff like that. Um, I did not scratch off the right number. I thought it was a I-30, not an I-31. I'll figure that out. That's probably a later problem. Anyways, I was talking about some political stuff yesterday. It's like the algorithm is not going to push that out because people don't want to hear me talk about that. But I want to talk about that because I think it's pretty crazy. Anyways, so carrying on. Joe Biden over the weekend he dropped out of the U.S. election. Kamala Harris popped in to the driver's seat. Although she's not like officially nominated yet, they're kind of just leaning on her to be like, you should probably be the nominee. And she's just like, okay. Maybe she didn't want to do that, but she's kind of just put in the seat, and hopefully you can fly a plane. Basically, is what they're trying to tell her. Okay, we did get the N-31, so we're still in business for accuracy. But anyways, everyone was just after the debate. There was a lot of questions. Is Biden fit to be in the election? And whether you felt he was or not, he was still in the running for the next election. Which again, there's a lot of things on paper where you're thinking maybe not the best choice. You got a country with 350 some odd million people in it. Maybe someone else might want to take a try. Maybe not. Anyway, we're where we are right now. I'm Canadian, not American, but just watching while this unfold. But anyways, it started making more sense why they were taking so long to figure out what was going on with Biden. I think Biden, whether he wanted to or not, it was the in his terms, the proof was in the pudding as far as him actually being able to run in the next election. Like the numbers weren't looking good. He's getting up there in age. If anything, let's just Joe just shut it down. It's okay. There's no big deal. We'll figure this one out. But anyways, the Republicans, they had a primary, so they had a big get together, and it's basically a bit like a giant rally for just a bunch of I don't want to add any more words to this, but it's a rally for a bunch of Republicans to get together and just rah themselves and what they're going to do, but more importantly, when you really think about it, it was a big bash fest against Biden. And then when you start thinking about that, they spent all their time bashing this guy. This guy's terrible. He's too old. His brain doesn't work. Falling upstairs. Like, all these things. Just give the guy a bowl of ice cream and send him off into the sunset, sort of thing. So there's a bunch of things that they spent a lot of time working against this guy, getting the sound bites against this guy. And Trump accepts the nomination for the Republican Party. And then I think it was like the next day, boom, Biden's like, yeah, I'm out. So they spent all this time, all this money, all this time getting the sound bites for it, and now it's just throw it in the trash. It doesn't mean anything anymore because they got someone else now they got to work against. That's some 4D chess going on right there. Like that's whoever's running that campaign. I'm not saying that Biden and Harris have different people running their campaigns because it's all the same boat when it really gets down to it. It's all the same boat. So the idea that they're just waiting for them to kind of shoot all their shots off when they're doing the. I'm gonna move this up a little bit. shoot all shots off while they were kind of doing the primary for the Republican Party, and then all of a sudden, just like whammo, we changed it up. We changed the game now. So now they got to get all new stuff. It's like no one thought about this. No one was thinking seriously. It's like, well, what if Joe does? I'm sure somebody put their hand up and was like, what if Joe doesn't run? And like, quiet you, quiet you. Joe's gonna run and we're gonna win. And he's old and he's falling upstairs and he's eating ice cream and yeah, it's just and he's beating Medicare. It's just like no one knows what's going on right now. So the idea where they spend all this time, all those resources digging into the wrong guy, digging the wrong hole, climbing the wrong mountain. So it's gonna get interesting now because now they got now their own talking points kind of work against them as far as people being old and unfit and stuff. I just think it's crazy too. Like you can have a convicted felon that not in jail. Maybe I don't know how the legal system actually works because I feel like if I broke the law, then I'd probably end up in jail. That's I don't want to think about that. Kind of depressing. Come all this way to life, and they're just like, oh, I guess I'm in jail now. I do think it's funny how like if you don't have enough money, they just put you in jail for not paying your taxes. Whether you're evading your taxes or just not paying your taxes, I always thought that was funny. It's like, well, if I don't pay this fine, well, we put you in jail. You pay like my cost of living. Like, are you like is there a downside to this? Have you seen the cost of living right now? It sounds like actually it doesn't sound like a bad trade for a lot of people. I'm just saying, especially if it's like not a bad jail. Like I'm sure there's some bad people in jail, but just don't have any violent crime, and you probably got some options out there. But anyway, back to the election thing. I just think it's super interesting because now a lot of the talking points they had against Biden, it's like, well, it kind of works against Trump now, so we gotta quiet down on the age and fitness and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see where they get to with that. All right, 24. Not too bad. Not too bad. I tell my whenever things don't go my way, I usually tell myself, "Oh, it's not too bad." I guess the upside is like I didn't get any of the scratch card shavings in my eyeball. I didn't get a paper cut from the side of the card or anything like that. There's always things we didn't. I feel like we didn't scratch off much on this card at all. Maybe there's something else going on here. 9 would have been good. I think that's about it. I think this is one of the all-time lowest worst cards that I've scratched off on here. 8 would have been good. Not too bad. I'm just saying that to make myself feel better. All right, to move on. Mind to like and subscribe if you want to help support the channel. Moving on to Jaws. Who will be next? We just got to scratch off the top here, and then we scratch off the other ones. I did a mistake yesterday when I was scratching this because I started scratching everything, and it's like, no, you got to just scratch the top. You guys got to scratch the top so that you can kind of see if you won, so you don't toy with your emotions. Other thing I was thinking about with the election too is it's funny because like it's really obvious in places like high school and probably college, university, and stuff like that. But the idea with the election, it's like with Biden dropping out, and everyone's like, well, who's going to run for the Democratic Party? And it doesn't get down to who's the most qualified. When you really think about it, no one's like, so and so is the most qualified. Let's get them. It's not like basketball where it's like, who's gonna play center? It's like, well, Steve is 6'11", so maybe Steve. And Steve's like, I have no coordination. But like, quiet, you, Steve. Get in there, Steve, because he says he's tall enough. So it's one of those things where it's like it's not about who's most qualified. It's just about who's kind of the best for the pot. And the big part with the U.S. election, it's not about who's the most qualified, but who's the most popular. Because if no one knows who they are, and they go to vote, they vote 25 to 100 grand under that. I can see it. But when they go to vote, it's like, well, what's a name we can put on here that people know, and we don't have a thing against them. I'm a big believer. Like most of us just have a line in the sand with a lot of our beliefs. There's something in there where it's like, without that 1 point, everything will be okay. You can do lots of bad stuff. Like you think about it, like eating junk food. It's like we know all the bad things about it, but the one thing, it tastes good. So if it tastes good to you, even though like diabetes and weight gain, and it's gonna rot your teeth and make your breath stink. It's like all these things that kind of pile up on it, but you're like, but it kind of tastes good. There's a lot of vices out there that kind of work that way. When you think about it, maybe that's kind of a red flag with some of these processes where you're just like, maybe we shouldn't just make it a popularity contest. What if you actually um, had everything kind of written out as far as what people actually believed and didn't believe, or wanted and didn't want, and you found out at the end who you actually voting for? That would be crazy. That would be a crazy world to live in if we had fully anonymous voting practices. All right, 33, 44, 48, 29, 03. I don't think we got anything on this one either. But I could kind of sneak a peek. 25 had the 100 grand under it. That'd be sweet. Be pretty sweet. All right, well, I think that's 14, 13, 12, 11. Yeah, whoa, that's kind of crazy. That's like that. Maybe that's just fine. We still got a 3 down here. So if we get all 3 of these, we got a sun. We got another sun. Are we getting $50? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Bolt. Okay, well, we tried our best. Sorry if I'm getting too political on here, but it's so interesting. It's so interesting down there what's going on, because like every 4 years, it's just complete chaos and madness. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today. I'll be back tomorrow with another couple cards. See you in the next one. Good luck out there.